I'm Carlin Costa, and this is the Spicy Fat Podcast. And today I am so excited to welcome Canadian media icon and the new host of Breakfast Television, someone who embodies confidence and body positivity, Meredith Shaw. And I am so honored to have her here on the Spicy Fat Podcast today. Welcome, Meredith Shaw. Hi.
Aw, wow. I mean, I'm blushing if you're just listening and not watching. Yeah, the blush on that is real. Thank you so much. That's so
Yeah.
kind. Thank
Well,
you.
you are fabulous. I'm so grateful that you're here and you're taking a few minutes just to hang out with me. And like, girl, you look good. Like, this is the morning time and you are just glowing and ready to go. That's
Well,
so
it's a good
fun.
team here at Breakfast Television. Yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
perk. Chloe and Angela are my glam every day. So, yeah, this
Yeah.
has basically nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. But yeah, Chloe, Angela, and good lighting, and you're set.
We're good to go. Okay, well, excellent. So then I have a question for you. We wake up with you on our TVs. I like watching you also on TikTok streams in the
Yeah,
morning, which is really right. It's fun. It's accessible. I love
yeah.
that. But I'm
So do I.
curious,
I love
right?
that we're on TikTok and we also stream live on YouTube,
Yeah.
which is a
Okay.
real differentiator in Canadian morning television. And I love
Yeah.
that we can do that. I hear from so many people who like used to live in Canada and now live abroad, and that's how
Mhm.
they tune in every morning. And they say
Yeah.
that that's really like their piece of home. Just
Yeah.
reminds them of home, and it keeps them connected, and that just means the world. So the accessibility of the show, I think, is its secret sauce.
Yeah, I would agree. And like when I came across it on TikTok, I was like, oh, okay, save that. See, watch it every morning, and you're there, you're glowing, you're feeling great, you're hanging out with Sid. But my question
Yeah.
to you is this: how does Meredith Shaw start her day? What's your routine or ritual
Early.
or yeah.
Early. Yeah, she's early. A couple alarms. I have two. I give myself
Yeah.
one snooze.
Nice.
And one snooze only, but I do like a snooze. But I have another alarm like 5 minutes later. So it's a really quick snooze, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow it makes it all okay. It is an early wake up call, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm at sort of anywhere between like 3:45 and 4:15 is sort of my
Okay.
general get up.
Okay.
And yeah, I start my day honestly with before I even kind of brush my teeth or anything, like my feet hit the ground. I have a gratitude practice that I almost don't like to even talk about because I feel like it will break or something. Like it's almost like
Yeah,
a
fair.
jinx or something.
Yeah.
But I do. I have kind of a mantra and a few things that I just think about. I almost sort of set it up before I even get a
Mm.
light on and a toothbrush in my mouth. Just that reminder of how beautiful
Yeah.
things are, even when they're not. I think that
Yeah.
that almost sets up a bit of a the intention of what I want to bring to what I'm doing that morning.
Yeah.
Because life,
Yeah.
it's not like you're on morning television and life stops. Like all the complications and crunchy bits of life and family and kids and everything, it keeps going.
Yeah.
But there is a requirement and a consistency that you need to tap into,
Mhm.
and a beauty and a joy that I really intentionally want to bring to people in the morning. Obviously, an honesty too, but I think
Yeah.
that that's important to me. So I kind of
Mm.
set myself up with that, and then it's just the regular routine morning stuff that everybody does.
Yeah.
I do pop on my eye patches. I always have an eye patch when I come into the station. I come
Oh,
in with
nice.
my yeah. I feel
Are they
like
like
that's doing
caffeine?
something for me.
Are
It's
they like
what?
the caffeine ones? Are they like the aloe vitamin
Yeah,
E
I
ones,
rotate.
Yeah?
I rotate.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
whatever's on
Okay.
sale.
Yeah, 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 girl, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Whatever one is on sale, that's what I get, and then I rock that for the month, and then sort of keep going. But no, I mean, to get into the nitty gritty of it, because people are sort of interested. We have a meeting at about
Yeah.
4:45, and we take that all on the phone. So I'm usually driving
Wow.
in at that point. We're setting up the show for the day, and
Yeah.
then I come in and say hi to everybody, and then we get into glam at around 5:45, and then I'm mic'd up and on the air at 6:55. So yeah, it's a very
Wow.
consistent routine. There's like,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm not, sipping my electrolytes or making my coffee by a certain moment, I'm like, woo, I'm off.
Yeah.
So that part of the morning, and if you, no matter what you do, if you get up, dark and early like that, I think every minute counts.
I can appreciate. Yeah, you're waking up as I'm like hitting REM sleep. Like that's what's That's what's happening. Oh, I love that. Okay, but I have to ask you just like a little sidebar. We're just gonna go sidebar and then come back, which is
Yeah.
because I'm a Portuguese woman. You
Oh my
work with
gosh.
you work with Sid,
Dead. Yes.
which is so fun. He's such a fun personality.
Yes.
And I just kind of want to know, this is just for like my own personal, knowing it's
Yeah.
Euro Cup right now, it's Euro Cup.
Yes.
Is Sid going crazy behind the scenes? Like, is he there just like, are you into it? Are you into the sports?
Sid, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on the show at
Yeah.
all times. Yes, we have
Yeah.
become a Euro Cup show. It's nonstop. Yeah, I do like sports. I'm engaged with sports. I grew up, with a very engaged father and brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard many a thing around the dinner table growing up, and I'm a big Leaf fan.
Oh, nice,
I go
nice.
to a lot of Leaf games. I got those tickets, so I'm there. And yeah, so being able to sit alongside the Sid Seixeiro and talk sports is one of the coolest honors of my gig. And trying to sort of keep up with him and be able to engage in that way has been so fun.
Yeah.
He really is the
Yeah.
best. I always say I adore that man. I just adore him. I
Yeah.
think he's so
Yeah.
passionate and smart and funny, so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he does something that a lot of people I think on television are afraid to do. I don't know when that happened, but
Sure.
he says what he thinks,
Mm.
even if it's not always popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
respect that about him to no
Mm-hmm.
end. And we just have a really good time
Mm-hmm.
together. And I knew that from like the minute we met. It just felt very
Yeah.
correct. I was like,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get this job. Like
Yeah.
after I met him and tested with him, I was just like, that was fun. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are so grateful you got the job. Watching you like from
Thank
the social
you.
to now on breakfast television. Every morning I get to watch you. I love it. And I also then listened though to your newest podcast with episode with Jan Arden, which was
Mm.
such a fun listen.
I
And
love
I heard,
Jan.
right, we love
Yeah.
Jan here on the Women
Yes.
in Media Network for
Yeah.
sure. And I heard you talk about how your mom was like super excited to meet Jan for the first
Yeah.
time, and like
Yes.
that was just the best story. And my question to you though is, as a Toronto girl hanging out, who did you admire as a girl growing up? We all admire Jan for sure, but you're living your best life growing up in the city. Who were some of your role models? Were they all Canadian? Were they not? What did that look like for you?
Um, you know, when I say it's Jan Arden, like I mean it from
Yeah.
my depths of my bones.
Yeah.
She to me represented possibility in an industry that
Mm.
I didn't know I could get myself into. I mean, I wanted to be a singer before I did any of this. I wanted to be a singer and a performer, and that's how I spent most of my life as a kid
Yeah.
and sort of teenager. I had my first development deal, and then I had a record deal. I've done 3 albums.
Country.
I made a record
Was
at
it
Willie
country?
Nelson's
Mhm.
studio, in that sort of singer songwriter vein. And then my
Mm.
last kind of attempt, I would call it, was much more down the middle country. Like wrote some songs in Nashville, worked with
Yeah.
great producers out on the West Coast. Yeah, so I very much wanted to be in that industry, in music, singing,
Mm.
and songwriting. It meant so much to me.
Mm.
And so my heroes were Jan Arden, Sarah McLachlan,
Ugh,
Sheryl Crow, Stevie Nicks,
yeah.
Natalie Maines from Dixie Chicks, like these women
Yeah.
that were able to take life and put it into lyric and melody and then stand up there on stage and deliver it while playing an instrument. I play piano and guitar, and yeah, that was it for me. The interesting part about my career, though, musically, because I did have a little run at it, and then when people say like, "Oh, I didn't know you're in music," I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I had to quit."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fair. Yeah.
Because people need to know and like come to the concert and buy my album. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my little joke. But
It's like
I'm like, yeah, I know what an empty room feels like. But
yeah.
I also had a lot of fun success moments
Yeah.
in this business, and learned so much. And I don't know, it was a really important arc in my now career, which I didn't understand
Mm.
at the time. It was very hard to step away from it. But I think
Yeah.
that for me, the people that I admired growing up were my female music heroes, and
Yeah.
Jan Arden was 100% one of them. I still have a story of my parents were both originally from Alberta. And so we were
Okay.
back at Christmas time. And I was quite young. I mean, maybe I was 15. And Jan, I'd known her former manager or something, and she was looking for a backup singer, or something was needed. I don't know for what
Oh.
capacity, if it was like a show or it was a tour. I mean, I guess I could ask her at this point, but
Yeah.
um, and I remember driving with my dad and like my demo tape in like the dead of winter to, I think, what is her PO box or something, and like
Yeah.
dropping it in there. So I mean,
Wow.
my stories with her on my end are very significant. And so to now have this relationship with her is really, I mean, it still blows my mind. Yeah. She's so
Yeah.
special to me.
Oh, I love that. And like, please check out that episode if you're listening, listeners, the Jan Arden podcast where Meredith Shaw was on there, because that was such a fun episode to listen to. And, so you're singer songwriter, like you were trained in that area, a little bit of country music, a little bit of good times, but you were also a style icon,
Yeah.
and just like looking at you every morning. You are, I mean, to me, to me, you have been an inspiration for how I like to show up, and seeing a body that is so much more similar to mine than other bodies have been has just like awakened my desire to be back in media and to show up and to like do this
Yes.
podcast, like honestly, oh, sorry,
Yes.
having a moment.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But
Yes.
like, you are a Canadian style icon, and you just launched this like huge campaign with Pennington's, right? The
Mm.
get dressed with Meredith hit stores in May of 2024. I was just checking it out because I was like, all right, what else has been added to the line? But I heard you tell this story on the Jan Arden podcast, and it's a story that I really like resonate. And sorry, like I have a little tear because when you told this story, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my goddess, I am her. And it was the story of like when you used to shop at a Chanel because that's all we had.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like hide your bags like on the way
Mm-hmm.
out of the store, and like that retail size shame that came along that, us as teenagers, we did not have the capacity to deal with or, need to deal with. But going from there to now, what has it been like to design an entire fashion forward line for fuller sized bodies like ours? Like talk about, a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Yeah, what is that like for you?
Yeah, well, I see your misty eyes and I raise you. I'm right there with you. It's
Ah,
very significant. It's significant for me, but I think the significance comes from what it also means to like you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that, it's that thing that gets me spicy, that gets me
Yeah.
that gets me going, and that motivates to do more and to be a part of more change. Because
Yeah.
as my platform grows, my ability to affect change grows,
Mm.
and I take that
Mm.
part, especially in this world of fashion, very
Mm.
seriously. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, okay, fashion style, whatever. No, no. To me, I'm obsessed with style because I
Yeah.
think it's access to the possibility of who you are. That's style to me. It's not a dress. It's not a pair of pants. It's access to your life. And I think when you don't make the size, it's not that you don't, I can't wear the dress or the tank top or the shoe or whatever. It's
Yeah.
that like, I'm not going to feel like I have the tank top or the dress to go out on the date. That's the love of my life, to go to
Mm-hmm.
the suit. That's the job interview to get the promotion. Like, and then
Mm-hmm.
you start to opt out of life. And so life
Mm-hmm.
gets small and kind of sad and not great. And
Mm.
your human reaction to that is
Yep.
I'm blaming my body.
Yep.
When really you've opted yourself out of the fun of life, out of
Yeah.
relationships and connection.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you can have a sort of end result of body blame, but that's actually a much smaller thing than what it actually is. It started
Yeah.
somewhere else. And then we
Yep.
think we can change it with our bodies, but it's really about putting whatever the heck body you have right in this second back into your life. And so I wanted to design the clothes for people to do that. I want to be a part of
Yeah.
that shift. And so this dress collection with Pennington's for summer was so fun. I got to work with them and pick styles and get the best stuff and colors and,
Yeah.
and then the design element where I'm actually sort of sketching and fitting and changing, that's coming
Yeah.
out this holiday. So, my own label and all that fun stuff. So you're going to hear a lot more from that. And I'm
Yay.
learning so much, thank you, as we go, on how the business works, because it is a business at the end of the
It
day.
is.
I mean, it's serving needs, but it's
Hmm.
got to make money. It's got to make sense. This
Hmm.
dress collection has sold very well. So I'm very happy and thankful
Yeah.
to everybody who sort of showed up and just loved the candy dresses and choice.
Yeah.
But that's really the meaning of it for me, is
Mhm.
first I design because I want lovely things and choice.
Yeah.
And I want everybody that I know and love, that I've now had access to having many, many conversations to and about and with, this for them as well. And really just being able to give aspirational style in extended sizes and beautiful things and
Yeah.
campaigns and editorial, like it's one thing to
Yeah.
have access, and I think social media has done such a good job of that, but we're
Yeah.
still lacking in the voices on, any kind of editorial shoots, sort of the bones of the fashion industry in Canada. There's still a
Mm-hmm.
disconnect there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to be a bit more of a bridge, along with a lot of other phenomenal people, but I'm hoping that starts to connect the dots a little bit more. Because I think you need both. I think you need access, but I also think you need aspiration. And I think
Yeah.
we deserve all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you even said, like, on your Instagram, I want to deliver dresses that felt like candy, gave us a
Yeah.
choice, right? Like, first of all, I
Yeah.
love that description that feels like candy. I was like, I want to wear candy. I was like,
Yeah.
dress me up like a Twizzler with nerds on it, you know? Like,
Fun,
but I love
joy.
that. Yeah. I love it. Cause, the whole motivation, like you said, just to reiterate, about this line for you was about giving us choice, about celebrating many silhouettes to become our go-to closet faves for easy summer days.
Yeah.
So you're designing now. Like, I know there's recommendations, Pennington's recommendations that you have on there. You worked with Pennington's for this summer line. I hear you're designing your own winter line, which I'm so excited. We're going to get into that in a minute. But when you're designing all of this beautiful clothing or choosing recommendations, even, what details are you considering for our bodies that a potential like straight size designer doesn't?
I think it's how our bodies move in clothes and
Yeah.
how, the proportion of it all. I think those are the
Yeah.
two big factors, because there's things that I look for when I wear clothes, specifically even on breakfast television. Like I think, okay, I've got a 4 hour show. I'm going to be sitting down for some stuff. I'm going to be
Yeah.
standing up for some stuff. I'm going to be
Yeah.
outside for some stuff. And I don't know about you, but not everything in my closet I want to sit down in.
No. Yeah, girl. I
You know
feel
what I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have pants that I don't mind standing in, but I don't have the top to go with the pant or the suit that I can sit in. So there are a lot of considerations. And look, everybody's comfort with their body is different. And I don't think
Mhm.
everyone has to get comfortable all the way through with everything. I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think there's that sort of misnomer out there that true confidence is like, let it all hang out or be fine with this showing or that. I'm all for all of that. Truly. I'm applauding and right there with everybody in those moments. But I
Mhm.
also think there's a significant amount of people, uh, given job restrictions or whatever they're
Yeah.
thinking of, it's not really all the way possible all the time.
Yeah.
And so I really want to make sure that the clothes, again, are aspirational, but they're also solving sort of some
Yes.
issues, some practical issues
Yeah.
that we just have as people with bigger bodies. It's not
Yep.
it's not a bad thing. It's just a truth.
Yep.
And you've got to be able to have a team that can fit on a plus size fit model. A
Mhm.
lot of these brands that are now jumping on and doing extended sizing, I mean, I'm thumbs up. I'm like, if anyone wants to get in the game, awesome. But a lot of times they do it in a way where they just take the size 8 or whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
usually an 8 for a fit model for straight sizes.
Yeah.
And they'll just grade up. So they'll just make the 16 from there. They'll make the 20 from there. And that's just not how bodies grow. It's
Yeah.
just, you can't just do that. So you really
Yeah.
have to have invest in another fit model. I know
Yeah.
we're getting in a little inside baseball here,
It's
but
all
generally
right.
that's the
Let's go
size
for it.
18. And
Yeah.
then you grade down and up from that. So
Oh, I didn't
working
know
with a brand
that.
like Penn, they've been doing that from the beginning.
Yeah.
They've been there and dressing us from jump.
Yep.
And so they have all those mechanics and all those systems worked out. So I'm just really excited to like tell a new story with that brand
I
and
love
to
that.
really bring, I mean, you should see the stuff that's coming
Yeah.
for holiday. It's like,
Mm.
I cannot wait to wear it. I can't wait to see people in it. There's so much intention that's gone into it, but we've
Yeah.
had so much fun. Like and I also think there's a lot of focus too on like maybe some things that haven't all the way worked with what's going on. Like if you're petite and plus,
Yeah.
sometimes that is a very hard proportion to
Oh
find
yeah.
options in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing my bit to make that a little easier. So
Oh, I love
I think
that.
there are things that are working well. I think there are things that need a little bit more love, and I think that's all going to be happening. But those are the two biggest things: like move our bodies, how they move in the
Yeah.
clothes, and then
Yep.
the proportion to make that as smooth and effortless as possible. Because I don't know about you, I like to wear clothes that I don't have to think about.
Yeah, I just want to put it on. Like I'm wearing this like dress, right? I'm just like I put it on. I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it. I can stand in it. I can sit in it. I feel good. You know,
yeah, because
I
then you
I
can
can
like
appreciate
get on
that.
with your life. Like you don't have to be
Yeah,
like, oh, I have to think like this, and
yeah,
then no, just go, put it on, and go. Yeah,
yeah. Agree.
that's what
And
I like.
two of my faves from your summer line actually are the V-neck romper because I love a good romper. You know who
Love,
doesn't? Who
love.
doesn't?
Yeah.
And but I also love the flare maxi with like the little flutter sleeves, like that cute, but that flare at the bottom,
So
right? Just
cute.
like accentuating all of the curves and the size and the feel.
Yeah,
But
the silhouette's important, and the romper was important to me
yeah,
because I just hadn't. I wanted that piece. I wanted a black solid one. I'd seen some other
yeah,
ones, but I wanted something just
smart.
classic. And the
Yeah,
reason why that one works so well and works so well in so many different people is the biggest issue with romper is the rise.
yeah.
And a lot of women, especially when they're curvy, they could
Hmm.
carry weight in their lower belly, or they might not. They might carry
Yeah,
weight in their hips and thighs. Like it's just different where
yeah,
you carry it. And
yeah,
so what's so genius about that romper, and if you haven't gotten one yet, get one. We're almost
yeah.
out of them, but get one because the waistband is stretchy, but it plays. So you can either
Okay.
wear it a little higher if you're not carrying weight in your tummy, and you have this sort of blousier version of the romper. If you
Sure.
have a little weight in your tummy, it has the length that it won't pull. So it's a really well thought out design that hopefully we can produce over and over again. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm even thinking like it'd be cute in a little like faux leather moment for like a fall, or you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like once you have the cut, it's like
Yeah.
let's keep going.
Yes.
Because I think so many people have had tough moments with rompers or pants, or there's certain spots that's just it's difficult to get the proportion right. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
keep working with the brand in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Girl, give me all the rompers, please.
Yeah.
Like, please
Okay.
give
Done.
all the rompers.
Okay.
I love
No
it.
problem.
So I just have like one final question. And then if we have time, let's do a quick fire. I love just asking a few
Yeah.
quick fire questions. My final question to you really is, as a fashionista, you're creating these lines, but you're pretty bold with your fashion choices, which is what I love. So how would you describe like your signature your signature style? How would you describe
Mm.
that in a few
My own
words?
personal one.
Yeah, yeah, your
My own
personal
personal style.
signature style.
My own personal signature style. Oh my gosh. Whoa, that's a good question. I definitely think let me say my signature style. Okay. I
No
have what I
pressure.
want to be, but I have what I am. Okay. What I want to be is like cool, edgy, like
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
moment. But what I actually think I am is like feminine,
Yeah,
colorful,
yeah,
and I think I appreciate the bold.
yeah.
Um, there's a fearlessness there, potentially.
Mhm.
So maybe fearless, maybe feminine, colorful, and fearless.
I love that. Look
Yeah.
at that. I would actually exactly describe that. Feminine,
Okay,
fun.
good.
Yeah,
Okay, good. And
absolutely.
one day I'll get cool in there.
Yeah. In the
Edgy,
full.
cool girl, Meredith Shaw. No, never.
It's when that like leather romper comes out.
Yeah.
That's when that's
Okay.
happening. Yeah.
I can have goals. Yeah.
Oh, Meredith, I appreciate this conversation so much. We just have like 3 minutes left, and I just
Yeah.
want to jump on. It's something I do with all of my guests, and
Okay.
it's just a quick fire cue. So, quick fire questions. I'm going to
Okay,
ask
spicy
you.
fat, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's see
yeah,
this.
girl. Are you
Yeah.
ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
ready.
First question. So, we're just going to go quick. Are you a maximalist or minimalist?
Maximalist.
Extrovert or introvert?
Extrovert.
What are your two primary love languages?
Oh. Rod would say I have all five.
Yeah.
Um I think words of affirmation
Yeah.
and acts of service
I love that. I love
and
that.
gifts.
And gifts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just I'll
Yeah.
wrap them up, wrap them up.
Yeah.
How do you like your eggs?
Oh, made by Rodney Bowers.
I love that. What's your favorite color?
Mm, blue.
If your favorite color was a flavor, what would it taste like?
Oh,
I know,
well, we
random.
just had him on the show today, and he brought his Pride Craig's cookies, and one of them,
Yes.
the one that I ate, was a blue one. So a Craig's cookie, that's what it would taste like.
Oh, I love that. Craig's cookies are the best. Big shout out to
The
them.
best.
Yeah. What's your favorite travel destination in the world so far?
Oh, well, I'm set to go to Ireland very soon, so I'm thinking I've never been before. I'm thinking that could take my top.
Yeah.
Um, I have to say, I went to Budapest last
Mm.
summer. I went to
Ooh.
Budapest and Vienna, and there that would not have been on my list, and
Yeah.
sort of initially. But
Yeah.
man, I think just such a beautiful. I never been that sort of that east in Europe, and
Yeah.
it was transformational. I just loved it. I had so much
Yeah.
fun. I learned so much. A challenging history. And we just had a really significant time there. So I love to travel. I haven't done as much of it as I would have liked to, because often I would go and like attach it to work. So I've been to like New York, Miami,
Yeah.
LA a lot.
Yeah.
But with, of course, the love of my life, Rodney Bowers, he's a globetrotter. So
Yeah.
off we go all over the place. And I find it, yeah, it's a real privilege, but I love it. So yeah, I would have to say, hopefully Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, we're
Yeah,
looking forward to it. I love
yeah.
that. Well, thank you, Meredith, so much for being here. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you taking the time and sharing a little insight into your life and into what you're designing and creating with Penningtons and the new passions and projects that you're developing. I'm so grateful that you took the time today. Thank you.
Well, you're so kind, and I appreciate your our shared experience. There's a commonality here between the two of us, and I love that you are jumping back into media. It's
Thank
where you should be. It's where you deserve to be. So thank you for your voice in all of this too. Yeah,
Thank
appreciate you.
you. Yeah, I appreciate you. That's so nice. All right, spicy friends, and here's the deal. I will have all of the links to Meredith's new designs with Penningtons in the show notes and at spicyfat.com. So thank you so much for listening, for being here, for being part of today's chat. Check out Penningtons, catch Meredith Shaw every morning on breakfast television, and I'm just here reminding you to stay spicy and to keep it real. Love you.